So in today's video, I'm going to discuss about how to write a cover letter for journal submission. So basically, when you are submitting a paper to a journal, they also expect you to write a cover letter. And the cover letter is the place where you can tell the people in the journal as to what is novel about your work, what is the fundamental discovery you have made, and why this discovery is of interest to the readers of the journal. So now many writers of papers presume that the journals are there for the writers of the papers, but the reality is the journals are there for the readers of the papers. So the business model of the journal is basically focused toward who is reading the paper, because these are the people who are paying the subscription costs for the journal. So now you need to take a very good look at the scope of the journal and to ensure that your cover letter makes a point about how your paper fits within the scope of the journal. So this is something the journal people are most interested in seeing when they see your paper. Now there are many templates of cover letters floating around on the web, so I'll not discuss the whole cover letter with you, but I'll discuss a few salient points. So first thing you should try to do is get hold of a template of the cover letter from your department. So there may be some templates with your senior students or with your supervisor or with the department staff. And what you need to take a look at is the letterhead. So that's the main thing you need to write a cover letter. So it should contain the name of your institution, the name of your department, some contact numbers, fax numbers, and so on. And also the web page of the university of the department, so the journal can check out your department and university in case they need to. Now once you have written this, you date this letter. So I suggest using a date of the format like 27 December 2020. Don't use numerical format like 9/10/2020, because in some countries they use the month first and in some countries they use the day first. So there is some confusion about this particular nomenclature. So I suggest stick to the format 27, that's the date, write out the month in full, December, and then date 2020, the year 2020. So now once you have written that, you address this to editor-in-chief of the journal. So you find out his name, maybe it's Professor John Smith. So write Professor John Smith, his rank within the journal, and then the name of the journal. You don't need to give the name of the institution where this person works or the research institute and so on, because as far as you are concerned, you are just submitting this paper to the journal and your relationship with this person is in the capacity that he runs the journal. Now next thing you write is Dear Professor John Smith or Dear Dr. John Smith, as the case may be. Don't use Dear Sir, Respected Sir, Dear Madam, Respected Madam, because these are somewhat dated ways of writing and they are typically not used in technical writing nowadays. Then in the first paragraph, you can write that I am pleased to submit my paper titled, give your title, close the quotation marks, for prospective publication to the name of the journal. So that's your first sentence. So this is essentially a legal sentence which tells you that you are formally submitting your paper to this journal. In the second paragraph, I would say write 2 sentences or at maximum 3 sentences. So the first sentence should tell the author or the reader as to what's the fundamental discovery you have made in this paper which you are submitting. Maybe you have discovered a closed form solution to a mathematical problem. So that could be your first sentence here. The second sentence would be about the ramification of this research on the people reading the journal. So maybe this new solution you have discovered can be used to validate the veracity of different numerical methods which are widely used to solve problems in this field. So that could be your second sentence. So the first sentence says what you have done. The second sentence says how it's important to the people who read the journal. And sometime if you feel the need, you can add a third sentence telling about how your paper fits within the scope of the journal. So you can maybe pick certain words within the scope of the journal, so which are typically published in the journal web page. So if you go to the journal web page and check out, there will be some place where they have put scope of the journal, and there you may find that the journal likes to publish benchmark solutions or closed form solutions of different mathematical problems. So you can mention that your submission falls within the scope of the journal because you publish works on benchmark closed form solutions, and my work is one of these solutions. Now once you have written this, you come to the end of the letter and you just close off the letter in the last paragraph. So you simply say that I look forward to a response from you, thanking you very much, yours sincerely, and then you sign off with your name. Now if you have a digital signature, put the signature on top of your name to ensure the sanctity of the legal nature of this document, and save this as a PDF file. Now one thing I would suggest is that you use 12-point font, use Times New Roman font, so do not experiment with different fonts here, and so that should be your cover letter. So my personal feeling is that cover letter should never exceed 1 page, because like I have told you, the people managing the journals are stretched for time and they don't have time to read verbose documents which are discussing about the importance of the research of the people and so on. If they need further information, they can go to the paper, read the different parts of the paper. So that's the basic outline of how to write a cover letter. And cover letters have become more and more important because the journals receive a lot of submissions, and they would like to actually turn down a lot of submissions right at the first stage, because many of these submissions may not be in the scope of the journal. So that's why sometime you may get a first round reject from a journal saying that your paper is not in the scope of the journal. And one of the things to do to reduce the probability of this event taking place is to write a good cover letter and to clearly bring out the fact that your submission is within the scope of the journal in the cover letter. And of course, you also need to do some research on the journal beforehand and make sure that the journal is publishing papers similar to yours in its recent manifestations, and also to ensure that some of your recent citations also come from this journal, so that makes that buttresses your claim that the journal is publishing papers in your field, and so the people of the journal would like to see a paper similar to yours being published in future. So that's all I have for today, and I hope this helped you in drafting a cover letter. Thank you very much, and I will get back to you in a future video. Stay tuned to my channel.